The Sparks have their first 4-game winning streak in the WNBA in 2 years. They beat the Connecticut Sun 101-86, 30 points and 6 assists for Sparks guard Kelsey Plume. The Sparks are in New York Saturday to play the Liberty, the defending WNBA champs. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we aim to foster enlightening, sustainable, restorative dialogue, and we welcome unapologetically progressive viewpoints that empower fellow citizens. We are now accepting submissions for KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorials like this one.
For the KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Recently, I listened to a Tavis Smiley Show conversation with James Farr. James said something that caught me off guard. Black out the Dina is gone. My community is being murdered. I said murdered.
All you have to do is go to our website homepage at KBLA1580.com and click on the icon that says KBLA Guest Editorials to learn more about our editorial standards and content submission guidelines. As long as the topic aligns with our mission, we are happy to review your submission and consider it for broadcast. We can't make any promises, but we want to amplify progressive perspectives that are community-focused and solution-oriented. So, go to KBLA1580.com right now to download all the information you need about our guest editorials. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Yeah. At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you, thank you.
What do you feel when you hear a record like Tupac's new one?
I love Tupac's new record.
Right, but don't you feel like that creates tension between East and West? He's talking about killing people. I had sex with your wife, and not in those words. But he's talking about, I want to see you deceased.
To live and die in L.A., California. What you say about Los Angeles? Still the only place for me. It never rains in the sun. To live and die in L.A., where every day we try to fatten our pockets. Us against hustle for the cash, so it's hard to knock it. Everybody got their own thing, currency chasing. Worldwide through the hard times, worrying faces. Shed tears as we bury them, singing close to heart. What was a friend, now a ghost in the dark. Cold part about it, and got smoked by a fiend. Trying to floss on them, blind to a broken man's dream. A hard lesson, court cases keep them guessing. Plea bargain ain't an option now, so I'm stressing. Cost me more to be free than a life in the pen. Making money off of cuss words, writing again. Learn how to think ahead, so I fight with my pen. Late night down, sunset, like in the sin. What's the worst they can do to a nigga? Got me lost in hell to live and die in LA. On bail, my angels sing. South Central LA, can't get no stranger. Full of drama like a soap opera. On the curb watching the ghetto bird helicopters. I observed so many niggas getting 3 strikes, tossed from jail. Swear to be right across from hell. I can't cry, cause it's home now. I'm just a fucking on his own now, living life thug style. So I can't smile right into my peoples when they ask for pictures, thinking Cali just fun and this is hip. Better learn about the dress code, B's and C's. All the mothers taking the copycats, these is G's. I love Cali like I love women, cause every in LA got a little bit of thug in them. We might
KBLA Talk 1580. Yep. Promise you this. All right, it's quite a Friday around here, and rest in peace, Pac, by the way. Gone but never forgotten. Okay, so we got a house full of folks this morning, and that's a good thing. We are in LA vibe because, well, the production is If I Awaken in Los Angeles, so we thought we'd start with a little To Live and Die in LA for your palate. And we have the director here. She is actually iconic as a producer, a director, live events, events on video, events on film, also an activist in her own right. Gina Belafonte, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Yeah,
I'm excited to have you in. You brought a couple of your friends and fellow collaborators.
Absolutely. We have Diane Luby Lane, who is the executive director of Get Lit, Words Ignite, and the amazing producer of this production of If I Awaken in Los Angeles.
And Get Lit, Words Ignite is about literacy, engagement. And man, I saw some data on literacy about a couple months ago, and my head was exploding. I didn't realize how bad it was.
Yeah, it's bad. It's worse since COVID. So we need all the engaged young people we can get, and spoken word is the best way to do it.
Because you can't read. A lot of things you can't do. That's funny. It reminds me of Donald Bakir, the writer of South Central Adamant here, and he said, young people will read if you give them stuff they want to read.
Yeah.
You just can't give them crap that they don't feel like reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, we could do a whole other show about that.
Well, let me just say to that, though, that the program at Get Lit is so geared toward the young mind. The way in which it works is they go into schools and they bring poems, sort of iconic poems from iconic poets, and they learn the poems. They pick poems that they feel they have a relationship to, and then what they do after they read that poem, learn that poem, is they create a response poem of their own to that poem. So they're speaking their own truth to power and learning from the iconic greats in the poetry realm as they do it. So it's a really beautiful program, and really it creates leadership and incredible voices.
Yeah. I've seen programs like, both my parents are poets, so I've seen programs like that over the years. And not only, there's another piece that people forget about. There's a mental health relief that comes with that for some reason that I've consistently seen.
Yeah, that's true. Kids need a place to process their feelings and to share who they are. And during the school day, with all the emphasis on testing, there's not enough time for that community building and sharing. And this gets plugged into the English class. It's not after school, so it really helps.
Well, good work. Okay, so Get Lit is produced in partnership. What does that mean? If I Awaken in America, tie all of this in for me together.
Sure. So If I Awaken in Los Angeles is a poem by Joy Harjo, and it is a beautiful poem. It's a slice of LA imagery. And I'm going to actually let Diane talk about how she took this poem and then created this incredible piece.
Yeah, we had this opportunity through Ford. So Get Lit's producing in partnership with Ford. Ford opens up something for groups that don't normally get an opportunity to produce a huge show like this. And they had a grant, and we got the grant. So we're one of a few organizations that get to put on this amazing night at the Ford Theater under the stars. So it's like, okay, if you have this one night to showcase something, what do you want to showcase? So the idea was, If I Awaken in Los Angeles, this Joy Harjo poem, who is the Poet Laureate of the United States, Native American poet. We've worked with her before. We love this piece. It's so poetic and deep. And if we could, especially now, but we had this idea even before all that's been going on in Los Angeles, how could we highlight the communities and the people that live here, tell their stories through spoken word, through multimedia, through music, culturally, just bring an alive explosion like a Super Bowl party that's also deep with iconic poets that like Luis Rodriguez and also our young emerging poets who are genius. With Derek Hodge, the music director, just so it's the best of the best on this stage, Los Angeles in all its glory.
And if you haven't been to the Ford, it's really nice.
It is.
It's a beautiful space to see anything or nothing. So
it is. It's a beautiful 1,500 seat amphitheater. We have a few tickets left, which I'm glad that we're able to still encourage people to come see it, but at the same time we're almost sold out, which is even better.
That's amazing. And this is August 1st, so it's actually right around the corner.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, congratulations. Is this choreo poem? Is it what how would you categorize it?
There's some choreo in there. I would say choreo.
Spoken word? Is it a slam?
It's kind of all of that because we have such a diverse group of artists representing all these different communities. And also, very unexpectedly, who is sort of expressing which culture racially, but then there's different cultural expressions within those races that are a little unexpected when you come see it. We have most of
Don't get me started, Ms. Belafonte, because we've been fighting like intellectuals in my Instagram.
Yeah.
And one of the things is that I think folks don't understand the difference between race, a social construct, culture, ethnicity, nationality, religion.
Yes.
All of those make up who we are. And folks try to,
put us in a box.
Try to put us in a box or want to get bent because somebody said a thing and they don't even understand what the person is saying.
Right.
So that sounds like what you're talking about is that, if you say, oh, these folks are up here by race, but also we're breaking out the culture and the ethnicity, that all comes under the fake category or the construct of race.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly so. We're hitting more cultural aspects of neighborhoods.
Well, yeah, if I wake up in LA, we're in LA.
Exactly. We're covering.
Where are you from, homie?
Exactly. We're covering downtown, we're covering Watts, we're covering Compton, we're covering Inglewood, we're covering Chinatown, Koreatown, Japantown,
the canyons, the
ocean. We're like all over LA. We're all over. We don't have very much, but we do have even a little bit in San Fernando,
Okay. Well, you got Luis.
We do. We have Luis.
He can represent the valley.
Exactly. It's really actually exciting. I think what's been most fun for me is just the depth of the language that's being used to clarify these cultural experiences and the passion from all the different artists that are expressing a deep connection to their community, and it's beautiful. It's just so beautiful, and we have dancers as well.
So that goes over to the choreo poem part.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, one thing that we have in common is that we are the daughters of iconic artists who are also hardcore activists, and that can be a blessing and a burden.
Yes, it can. I mean, I had the good fortune of working very closely with my father, Harry Belafonte. Yeah, for many, many years. And we founded an organization, Sankofa.org, that sits at the intersection of art and activism. And we're one of the sponsors of If I Awaken in Los Angeles. We've been supporters of Get Lit for many, many years. And I have now been asked to be on the board, so I'm on the board of Get Lit. Woo-hoo. And it is sort of a legacy, ongoing baton to be held, shall we say, and to keep the legacy alive, by doing this work and ensuring that we have stages and voices that need to be lit and shining a light on issues and spaces and spices and places. So, just carrying it forward.
I feel like that legacy, you seem to have a great ease with it, which I love. I have a theory about children of the movement and grandchildren and great-grandchildren of the movement, which is that for all the people that are always saying, oh, we marched and what did it do? Well, first of all, I think it did a lot. But even if you buy the premise that it didn't do anything, and even if you're completely discouraged by the terrible things that are happening in Washington right now, there's the, Chokwe Antar Lumumbas and the Gina Belafontes and the Tupacs and the Raz Barakas, the children of the movement, not just literally offspring, but also the ones that went to those freedom schools and marched in those marches and had a different kind of education and cultural exposure because of the work our parents were doing. We are part of that progress, and we are not going away.
We are not. I was just last night, Sankofa did an event with Omo Moses, the son of Bob Moses, who was from SNCC and was on the front lines of registering folks to vote. He just wrote a beautiful book inspired by his great-grandfather called White Peril. And he was in conversation with Mike De La Rocha, who also just wrote a book called Sacred Lessons, and talking about his father who, was on the front lines in the Chicano movement in, Santa Clarita and all over California. Santa Cruz, not Santa Clarita, Santa Cruz. And, Mike kept saying how incredible it was to just be in community together with, being part of these legacies that we're carrying forward. And I encourage folks to understand that everybody is carrying a legacy forward. Yeah, and if not, they can start one right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we're carrying the legacy of the progress that our ancestors made and that we wish to continue.
That's right.
That we will continue.
That's right.
I'm way behind the clock right now, but it happens. Like I think I'm allowed to do that on Friday, right, Miles? But Diane Luby Lane, I have to say, I was playing To Live and Die in LA and hearing about Get Lit, Words Ignite, and your work. It reminded me of how Tupac started out as a poetry student and launched into his hip hop rap career.
Yeah, actually, when I know you're going to be speaking with Monique Mitchell, who is at Get Lit. She was a former student when she was 16, and now she's the director of communications. She's the story editor, the lead writer. She's performing the night of the show. She has a story with Tupac. She's just worked a lot with his work and responded and is a big part of her art. But actually, when I first came to LA, I met Tupac because my friend was directing a video, if you can believe it. I'm that old that I was there when Tupac was so young, and to get to meet him was
we're
so
just
cool.
We're just shapeshifters. We're not really that old.
Okay.
I didn't really do his first television interview and be old. I did it and I'm still young.
Yeah, there you go.
And I always boast about how my father bailed out Afeni Shakur when she was pregnant with Tupac.
Wow.
I
haven't heard that boast. That's a good boast. But I'm sure plenty of your students and alumni have gone on to have rap or other careers, but it's just igniting that spark of creativity. We're going to continue the conversation when we come forward. Happy Friday, KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Agnes was in deep trouble with the IRS.
I owed the IRS a lot of money. I did not know what I was going to do. I was scared.
Agnes caught a break and found out about Optima Tax Relief.
But when I called Optima Tax, they guaranteed me that they were going to help me out the best that they can. And they did.
Optima stopped the IRS.
No more telephone calls, no more letters. Optima Tax took care of everything. I can finally sleep at night. I was stress-free.
Agnes was finally free from her IRS nightmare.
It was like a burden was lifted off of me, and it was a great feeling.
Are you in deep trouble with the IRS? You might want to listen to Agnes.
I would refer Optima Tax Relief to anyone because they got me debt-free from owing the IRS any more money.
Call Optima right now for your free consultation. Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZQL Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Yeah, y'all, come on. Here come the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power!
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, okay, I'm over here doing a pretend directing of a live on Instagram. If you want to see us now, you can see us not just streaming on YouTube, but also on my IG, which is DiPrima Radio. And we have a great house full of wonderful women today. Diane Luby Lane, who's a producer and creative director, was in the studio. She'll be back. She was on Get Lit. Gina Belafonte is the director, artivist, director, actor, and producer. She's also co-founder of Sankofa.org. Now we're being joined by Monique Mitchell, an internationally acclaimed poet from L.A., or based in L.A., I should say. She's had her poetry commissioned by the city of L.A. for the 2024-2028 Cultural Olympiad. She's been on global campaigns for Puma, Lexus, Fox Network, and social movements like March for Our Lives. More than 4 million views online for poetry. That's not bad. Monique Mitchell, welcome.
From L.A.
From L.A.
From Lamert.
From Lamert. from where you're sitting right now.
Yep.
Lamert Park, Africatown, USA.
Yeah.
Well, this should be your radio station then.
It is.
Because it's the only one in Lamert Park that I know about.
It is.
So, welcome.
Thank you.
It's I think I've heard many a poet say that poets are the ones that are willing. Different versions of poets are the ones that tell the truth when no one else will. Do you think that's right?
Yeah. I feel like for me, poetry has always been something that's come through me, and I recognize myself as a vessel. I was part of Get Lit when I was 16 years old. I went to school right on Crenshaw in Slauson at View Park, and I was a sad kid. Yeah. I had a lot going on, and I had no means of expression until we got an arts program at my school. We got a poetry teacher named Mike the Poet who introduced me to Get Lit, and it was the first time. I liked what you said earlier about students will read. You just have to give them something that they want to read. The whole curriculum at Get Lit, it's classic and response. So they presented us with classic poems. And for the first time in my life, I heard someone who reminded me of Tupac, but it was a poem from the 1920s, a poet named Countee Cullen. He was a writer during the Harlem Renaissance, and I still remember the poem Saturday's Child. And he was talking about the same themes that Tupac was talking about. And I resonated with Tupac because I could feel it. And so those people who have always told the truth, that's a universal truth. It's not just about their experience. It's about the human experience. I feel like those are poets, and those are the people who resonate with us across space and time.
I did a choreo poem at San Francisco State, my alma mater, by Countee Cullen. So well familiar with his poetry. What is the name of that poem? What is Africa to me? I can't remember the name. It was great poem. But anyway, that connection. It's funny you said I was sad, because I just have this idea in my head of almost every poet I know walking around as a sad kid in high school.
Are there any happy ones?
But you seem happy now.
I am. Well, you know what? Thanks to creativity, I feel like I was witnessing a lot of destruction around me. And then once I was able to claim my voice as a poet, I realized life is creativity. Life is creation. Life is constantly evolving. And if I have a pen in my hand, then I can rewrite the narrative. I don't have to stick with the story I was born into. I can be constantly creating and recreating it. And so now that makes me feel joyful, because it makes me feel powerful.
Yeah, and you are. Okay, so you are going to spit a little bit. We only got a minute and a half till news, traffic, and sports. Should we wait till after?
Yeah.
Let's wait till after, because I don't want to put you up against the wall in that sense.
Well, I'll say Monique is also in the show If I Awaken in Los Angeles with us on August 1st. And her section is so dynamic and so fabulous. And I'm so excited for anyone who is going to make time and plan to come see it, because she is divine in the show, for sure.
Thank you, Gina.
So and you're a story editor and artist, but this is based on a poem by the poet laureate of the United States. So how do you story edit that?
Joy Harjo. Well, I had the great honor of working with Joy Harjo when I was in high school with Get Lit, and I mean, she's just a master. So I didn't story edit her work, but what I did was write a poem about my neighborhood and the neighborhoods I grew up in, and we reached out to all these iconic poets from around the city and said, hey, can you write this about your neighborhood and do an ode to your culture? And so I just pieced everyone's work together.
We just got about 20 seconds. Want to roll call some of those poets?
Yeah, Dante Bosco, Sekou Andrews, Luis Rodriguez, Jasmine Minches, the Youth Poet Laureate of Los Angeles, Samantha Rios, some really great poets, Jason Chu.
Wow. Okay. Powerful list. We are going to continue this conversation with Monique Mitchell, Gina Belafonte, and you when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams is investigating poor conditions at an ICE center in Lower Manhattan.
We are going to coordinate with our local electeds to look at what is happening there, including our federal electeds.
Video shows migrants sleeping on floors in unsanitary bathrooms. Advocates say it's being used as a detention center. Federal officials deny that. French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife are suing Black U.S. conservative podcaster Candace Owens for defamation. They say she spread false claims that Mrs. Macron is transgender and profited from it. Owens calls the lawsuit a PR stunt. And sports broadcaster Taylor Rooks is officially married. She tied the knot in a private star-studded New York ceremony with guests like Kevin Durant and Saquon Barkley. Pictures were posted online. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Is this the tiger? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
I'm a bad man.
Venus Williams' inspirational run at the D.C. Open in Washington, D.C. came to an end Thursday night. The 45-year-old Compton native lost in the second round in straight sets to Magdalena Frech of Poland. Venus lost 6-2 and 6-2. The crowd gave Venus a standing ovation after Frech scored the final point. The seven-time Grand Slam champion was playing in her first tournament since March of 2024. Venus accepted a wildcard invitation to play at the Cincinnati Open, which begins August 5th. When Venus beat Peyton Stearns Tuesday in the first round of the D.C. Open, she became the second oldest woman to win a singles match. The LA Sparks have their first 4-game winning streak in the WNBA in 2 years. They beat the Connecticut Sun 101-86, 30 points and 6 assists for Sparks guard Kelsey Plum. The Sparks are in New York Saturday to play the Liberty, the defending WNBA champs. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Los Angeles is rebuilding after the fires. If you call Altadena home, you understand the toll and the challenge of rebuilding. Now is your chance to shape the future of our neighborhood. Through Engaged California, survivors like you can help guide how we rebuild, quickly, thoughtfully, and with lasting resilience. It's safe, it's anonymous, and it's powerful.
Fire is a highly traumatic experience. There should be counselors available as soon as possible and shelters to help people cope.
I've been reaching out about my recovery plan. It's not that doors are getting slammed, it's that no one answers my knock.
2 friends of mine lost everything, and I have thought of them every single day since the fire. People need to process this, and they need all the help they can get.
These are real stories shared by survivors. Your experience can drive real action. Your story can help us build back stronger. We need to hear from you because no one knows your community like you do. Through Engaged California, survivors of the wildfires have the power to shape how we recover together. Your voice, your Altadena. You help decide. Visit engaged.ca.gov and sign up now.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we aim to foster enlightening, sustainable, restorative dialogue, and we welcome unapologetically progressive viewpoints that empower fellow citizens. We are now accepting submissions for KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorials like this one.
For the KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Recently, I listened to a Tavis Smiley Show conversation with James Farr. James said something that caught me off guard. Black Altadena is gone. My community is being murdered. I said murdered.
All you have to do is go to our website homepage at KBLA1580.com and click on the icon that says KBLA Guest Editorials to learn more about our editorial standards and content submission guidelines. As long as the topic aligns with our mission, we are happy to review your submission and consider it for broadcast. We can't make any promises, but we want to amplify progressive perspectives that are community-focused and solution-oriented. So, go to KBLA1580.com right now to download all the information you need about our guest editorials. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
The
following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com. If you want a 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now, 800-868-6431, 800-868-6431. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $498. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $498. What are you waiting for? Call 800-868-6431, 800-868-6431, and give us your answer. The proceeding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
All right. You know, I don't usually like to do a show about a show, but because, you know, okay, whatever, because there's so much going on in the world. But what's interesting about your production is that there's so many topics woven within it. And we're talking about poetry, we're talking about activism, expression, mental health, where we are, you know, how we've pushed back using our craft. We're talking about children of the movement. All of these have come up in the context of this production, If I Awaken, in Los Angeles, directed by Gina Belafonte, who's in the studio, and one of the performers and story editors, Monique Mitchell, is with us. We're live on Instagram, by the way, at DiPrima Radio. We're also flowing, streaming, doing that thing on the KBLA YouTube, so you can see us, feel us, hear us, even sing along if you want. Monique promised to share some poetry, so let's do that.
Okay, so at Get Lit, we have classic and response. So we call it a classic because it's good, not because it's old. So in our anthology, we can have anything from Tupac Shakur to Walt Whitman, and then we write an original response poem. So I'll do a classic from Tupac called The Rose That Grew from Concrete, and then I'll read my response. Did you hear about the rose who grew from a crack in the concrete? Proving nature's law is wrong, it learned to walk without having feet. Funny it seems, but by keeping its dreams, it learned to breathe fresh air. Long live the rose who grew from concrete when no one else ever cared. And this is my response that I wrote specifically for arts education in California. Hard to find sleep when calamity colors the block. Hard to draw peace when bodies outlined in chalk. My hood was full of dead ends. Seen cemeteries full of dead friends who used to be roses. Dreamt of rising up from Inglewood, strangled by a thorny system. Did we ever stand a chance? I remember standing on the corner of Crenshaw and Slauson, close to withering away, uprooted by unruly classrooms. Overcrowding found me lost in a face of seas. Gambled my future on mediocre averages, the odds against me. Funding funneled through pockets that never reached us. How could they teach us on secondhand salaries? We saw instructors get replaced like Aunt Viv. Doomed to a perpetual fall, we fell behind. Miseducation, a slow decline. And they promised no child would be left behind. But what about Lorenzo? What about Derek? What about me? My mind was a hungry wolf amongst sheep, the way she sought food she wasn't getting. How many futures have starved in these halls? I would have been swallowed by fall if poetry didn't spring me to life. I was always running like Luis Rodriguez until it provided me a place to rest, a place to rise. I modeled myself after the classics. Watched Dunbar grow into a scholar from a slave, so I retired my mask and chains. heard Walt Whitman's barbaric yawp, and declared, I too am not a bit tame. Get Lit gave my untranslatable thoughts a lane. Mama Maya told me why the caged bird sings, so I knew sharing my story would help me get free. I've watched roses rise from the concrete like Pac, so when I see my students struggling, I can't let them stop. It's been nearly a decade since I graduated high school, and I see the same story like the records on a loop. When will we demand that enough is enough? When will our students' educations and futures be unchained from their cuffs? Sing, caged birds, reform, resist. Rise up, roses, we will persist, planting poems in the cracks of concrete meant to break our backs. Let's prove education is the sharpest form of attack.
All right, Monique Mitchell, with the Tupac piece and then your response, which your response is literally a response to what you heard and what you felt.
Yeah, I love my community so much, and when I walk down these streets, because I still walk down these streets, I still live here, sometimes I just cry because it's so beautiful, and I feel like so many of my neighbors can't even access their beauty because they have no language for it. Like, we don't see how innovative we are. We don't see how resilient we are because we're used to just surviving. But there is so much magic here, so much culture. And I wrote this poem almost 10 years ago. It was when I was a teaching artist going into schools, teaching young people who had the most profound voices, who were literally changing into new people before my very eyes just by claiming language and claiming the words to express what was locked up inside of them. And I feel like Tupac did that. He freed himself through language. I actually met his manager, Layla Steinberg, when I was a freshman in high school at View Park. And she told me the first day she met Tupac, he was 17 years old, and she was reading a book by Winnie Mandela, who is Nelson Mandela's wife. And Tupac walked up to her and just started quoting passages from the book. And it was like some obscure book for a 17-year-old black boy to know passages by rote. And she was like, who are you?
Yeah. It's amazing what poetry, what language, what culture can do. And during News, Traffic, and Sports, Gina Belafonte, you were describing this project, this If I Awaken in Los Angeles, August 1st at the John Anderson Ford Theater. There's just a couple tickets left, a few tickets left. By the way, we're giving away a pair right
Yes.
now. Yeah. Caller 23, is that what it is, Miles? Something like that. Caller 15, we'll take 15 for 1580. Caller 15 at 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. I don't have my commercial radio giveaway tickets game sharp right now, but we sure do have a pair for you August 1st. But you were describing it, Gina, and I said you should say that on the radio.
Absolutely. So it's going to be a beautiful night under the stars. First of all, the Ford Theater, the vibe there is lovely. You can bring a picnic. You can hang out on the grounds for a while before the show begins. And we have 12 poets. We have 6 musicians, 4 dancers. We have incredible, beautiful visual images. We have a big LED screen that's part of our quote-unquote set. And the different neighborhoods that we're representing are really iconic neighborhoods. When you come to LA, or even when you live in LA, a lot of the times you think, oh, it's Hollywood. It's Hollywood Boulevard. It's Grauman's Chinese Theater. It's the beach. It's surfing, and these poets have given us an opportunity to really get a sense of the diversity in Los Angeles. And with all of the different spices, the different color, the different languages, the different vibes, we realize we're one human family. And it's really, really beautiful. LA's been through a lot this year. So many neighborhoods in our country have been through a lot. We're continually to be bombarded by this wackadoodle government we got right now.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's, the fire, the
tanks going through our
the occupation.
parks.
Yeah. And then on top of that, The Trump administration is suing us. I think there's like 30 different lawsuits against California right now, and we're suing them back. It's like we are the front line in a way.
In a way, we are. And because we're so cool and we got it going on. And
I love the way you put that. Yeah.
Well, it's true. I mean, we're money makers here.
Yeah.
Our culture across the boards, our produce, our culture.
Money makers, culture creators,
Exactly.
trendsetters, resistors. I mean, the funny thing.
That's obviously who they're going to go for.
Yeah,
They want to
makes
shut us
sense.
down because they want to control. And we speak up and we speak our mind. And this show actually does a lot of that.
If I awaken in Los Angeles, which I do almost every day, and I'm here to awaken you too. It's funny though. I started about a week ago this thing, Gina Belafonte and Monique Mitchell, that we're going to say a pledge every single day on this show in some form or fashion. It doesn't have to be a formal thing. We're going to find a way to pledge to be fearless, to pledge courage. Because there's so much freak out happening right now. People, where can I move to? How can I run away? Maybe if I'm just quiet. Maybe if maybe if I keep my head down. Maybe if I go MAGA. And I have decided that fearlessness is the way forward. How do you stay fearless?
I tend to think about who, what, and how I'm accountable. And that helps me move through some of the fear. And also, I allow my emotions to sort of respectfully express themselves.
I love that, respectfully. Well, and also, because a lot of people would think, well, you're Gina Belafonte, you're famous, your dad is famous, you could just go be famous somewhere. You don't have to go, you don't have to stay fighting.
Well, that is a misconception of my DNA. That is a huge misconception of my DNA. That is not an option. That is just not an option. I mean, I would be more afraid of that.
That's funny. I mean, it's true that as children of activists or famous, you can kind of go one way or the other. You either go full, Newsmax, or you kind of lean into the legacy, right? And I never thought about the consequences of the other thing.
Yeah, no. I'm 100% frontline on board, keeping it moving. Yeah.
In harmony with your DNA.
Absolutely.
Monique, how do you stay brave?
I'm going to answer that by telling you about a dream that I had a few nights ago. It was Monday night because on Tuesday I was so excited to tell Diane what this dream was and I never got around to it. I had a dream that I was with a sage and there were a lot of terrors going on in the world, and the sage set me in this valley filled with bones, like dry bones from people who had died. And he said, if you can sit with these bones, then none of this can terrify you. None of this around you can terrify you. And I feel like that's how I stay fearless. I've already survived like the worst of what I thought the worst life could be. So a person like someone in administration, they can't touch me. Like, it doesn't reach
So
me.
you dreamed a poem is basically what happened. And not only that, it's funny because I've been saying since before the Trump disaster that the bones are talking, because I feel like from Canada, the indigenous babies in Canada to the enslaved graveyards of Tulsa, the bones are talking and they will be heard.
Yep.
And our show starts with our native community, talking about this ancestral land that we're on, and blessing and welcoming the audience.
So your land acknowledgement is already baked into the show.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
And actually, it's not an acknowledgement. It's actually a welcoming.
Okay.
And they schooled me on that, which I think was so beautiful. It's really beautiful. We're representing, I could go there. We're representing the Native community. We're representing as much as we possibly can of the Asian community, given the time. The Asian community is very diverse and very complex, and there's just
it's like Latino. You're talking about all these different whole countries.
Exactly.
Not just neighborhoods.
Right.
Like entire countries, languages.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're representing the Chicano, Mexican section. We have obviously our African American Black section for show, and then we have a great line in the show which I'm going to give away, which is at the end of all of this incredible color and diversity, our tour guide comes out and says, and just when you thought DEI was over, we have our white brother come out and do this section about like the canyons and
nice.
Laurel Canyon and Topanga Canyon and folk music. Yeah.
Everybody's welcome. Get Lit, produced in partnership. If I Awaken in Los Angeles is the show. It's August 1st. We're going to keep the convo going when we continue on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Let K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering bring your world of flavors to your next event. For all occasions, from casual brunches to office lunches, weddings, and glamour affairs, call us today at 310-819-6213 or go to kmichellekitchencatering.com or on Instagram at kmichelles_kitchen catering or Facebook at K. Kitchen Catering. We look forward to cooking for you soon. Call 310-819-6213. 310-819-6213.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Okay, they would all be in the studio, but we don't have that big of a studio, so we're playing tag team radio right now. And we have back with us Diane Luby Lane, who is part of this production. She's the producer and creative director. Started out the show with us, also Chief Executive Officer of Get Lit, which we've been talking about. Monique Mitchell was with us. And Gina Belafonte remains. She's the director of the show, an activist, producer, and executive director of Sankofa.org.
That's right.
Yes, indeed. So this thing is coming up August 1st. And you, Diane, you told us we were going to see and hear a demonstration of what the kind of work you guys do at Get Lit, which is now manifesting on the stage to an extent. And we just did with Monique Mitchell. It's something you want to add to that?
I just love her so much. I'm listening out there and I'm like, this is a woman running for office. I mean, this is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. If young people are, I guess young people, I don't know how many old people you take, but if young people want to get involved with Get Lit, how would they can make that connection?
They can go to getlit.org. We have elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and now we've extended through something called the Creative Career Lab. If you're 18 through 28 years old and are a creative person and want help getting a job, we're committed to getting 110 people full-time W-2 employment in nonprofits or the creative industry within the next 3 years.
Oh, nice. So not just, I shouldn't say just, but fostering the creative and figuring out how people can be in there and also keep the lights on.
Exactly, make a living. We've worked with so many young people and been with them their whole high school career, and then even sometimes through college, and then they get out of college, they performed at the White House, they've done amazing things, and then they are living in their car. It's like, okay, not good enough. We actually need networks and to help each other get placed in good positions. So
smart.
We do that now.
Yeah, with the Summer of Success that we did many years ago in Baldwin Village, we saw that the young people who worked on this incredible program, and then afterwards, how do we help them?
Exactly.
Do we just say, peace, it was nice knowing you?
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not good enough. Okay, getlit.org. And if we want to go to the show and we don't win, we have another pair of tickets because you guys have been so generous. We're going to take caller 15 again right now at 800-920-1580. If you want to go to If I Awaken in Los Angeles, sounds like a beautiful show at the Ford on the 1st of August.
Yes, and if you don't know the Ford Theater, once again, it's just such a beautiful theater. It's 1,500 seats. It's under the stars.
In the middle of sort of like, feels like you're in the middle of the country, even though it's in LA.
The backdrop of the stage is the Canyon Hill.
Yeah.
And it's just really quite exquisite and beautiful. And it's
one of those hidden gems of Los Angeles.
It's right across the freeway from the Hollywood Bowl, so people can sort of know that iconic spot.
Yeah.
And you can bring a picnic. You can, hang out on the grounds and enjoy the vibe. We're going to have a great playlist going.
It's very vibey. I tell you, that spot, and then it sounds like it goes perfectly with this show.
It does.
If you awaken in Los Angeles at the Ford, you'd be doing pretty well. So if we don't win right now, we have caller 15 at 800-920-1580. We got a pair of tickets for you. Don't give up. But if we don't win, how do we go?
You can go to Get Lit's Instagram, Get Lit Poet, and you'll see lots of links to get tickets. You can go to If I Awaken in Los Angeles Ford Theater, and it'll come up. It's pretty easy to find. And grab your tickets because we have about 45 left.
Wow. Let's go. Okay, we just have a minute here. I guess I'll hand the mic to you, Diane, because you were out of the room for a minute. What do you want to leave us with this morning?
I just want to say it's really an honor to be here. Just we study your parents' work and just being here with you, an icon in your own right. Literally, thank you so much. It's been so much fun and really special to share this with you.
Oh, well, thank you for coming. Gina?
Yes.
Belafonte?
Well, I echo that. You're doing God's work here. And I appreciate you so much for having us and talking about our show. And I really encourage people to take a moment to also for their own mental health to come and see this show and find some joy. Just even for, an hour and a half, I think is the show. It's not even quite an hour and a half. And give themselves this little present. It's an affordable ticket, and it's a beautiful, beautiful night. And I'm so blessed and honored that Get Lit asked me to participate in this way. And I would love to share it with as many as I can.
Yeah, it sounds like a great night. It sounds like some food for your soul, man. We need it. Conscious revelry is where we need to go right now. So thank you so much for the work you're doing. Thanks to Monique in the other room. The best of Tavis Smiley is next, and he's got a lot of bests this week. He had Summer Leon this week. Are you kidding me? After she tried to force the Epstein files to be released. Ha 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 ha. A lot of good stuff coming up next. Like my mama, the great Diane DiPrima, poet laureate of SF, used to say, history is now, like I always say, we're making it together. Until next time, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams is investigating poor conditions at an ICE center in Lower Manhattan.
We are going to coordinate with our local electeds to look at what is happening there, including our federal electeds.
Video shows migrants sleeping on floors